The one game that I'm actually a little excited about is, Sleep Awake. Did you see this?
I did not see this one very much.
Adam, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What's the longest you've ever stayed up for?
46 hours.
46 hours. Did you
Yeah,
start
yeah.
tripping?
I don't think I did.
Did you start hallucinating?
Oh, did I say 46? 36. 46 has
36?
been crazy. Yeah.
46, yeah, 46 would get you pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game, super excited to see what they do with this game. Now, the idea behind the game, I think, might be better than the game. If we're
Mhm.
gonna be honest, it might be one of those games because looking at the trailer and stuff like that, it does look a little bit like it has potential to be a walking simulator,
Mhm.
but the idea behind the game is super cool, and I think one that really lends its hand to, like, just fitting within the video game universe so well. Essentially, what's going to happen in this game, it's a first person psychological horror. And the premise is you are in like the last city on Earth. The city has got like the Earth has gone kind of apocalyptic, which I know has been overdone, but just bear with me for a second. But the thing is there's this group called the Hush. And basically, what happens is that the people of this civilization are just disappearing when they go to sleep. So you are just like trying to maintain life throughout this city, explore this city, figure out how to stop them, and you have to do it without sleeping. And the idea behind it is like the further you get into the game, the more sleep deprived your character gets, the more wild things start to happen. So like they're saying that there's like psychedelic elements to this that are going to make it feel like you are experiencing that type of like euphoria, that
Mhm.
psychedelic experience of not going to sleep, and I'm super curious to see how they pull it off.
Interesting. I wonder
Yeah.
if it has something to do with that, like, eye
Mhm.
drop there, like, that's
Yeah.
what keeps you awake. You have to find the eye drops
So
to keep yourself awake?
so the eyedropper thing, the one thing that they do kind of, like, tip their hat to in the trailer, if you really watch it, you're making
Mhm.
that. So you're making that serum
Oh,
in one
okay.
part in the trailer, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of, like, something that you need to maintain your ability. Like, she's dropping it in her eyes, so I think it's something that kinda keeps her awake.
Interesting. It's kinda like, this is completely different, but the way they're kinda approaching this is very similar to Hellblade. You know how, like, it really plays with your mind as you're
Yes.
playing it? So that's gonna
Yes.
be but this is gonna do it more visually rather than in your ears, which I think will be really cool. And this
Right.
game's probably gonna compound it with, like, audio too, so
Yeah, and the
I can
very
see the appeal to this one, and like you said, how it could really go to a big gaming audience. That's cool.
yeah, and the really cool thing behind it, like you said, this like immersive experience, like they're promising these like psychedelic visuals and stuff like that, and you could see that a lot in the trailer. Like you can see like the euphoric blurs, like you can see like
Mhm.
the color shifts. There's really, really, um, have you ever done psychedelics?
No, I have not.
No, you never done psychedelics? Okay.
Nope.
No, if you really watch the trailer, dude, there's, like, sections in the trailer where you're just like, "Oh my god, they nailed it." It's like yeah, because there's that part, right? So there's that part in the trailer where you kind of just you're walking through the city, and then all of a sudden you get transported into that, like, really blue
Yeah.
land, which is, like, the sandy, like, blue desert, and there's that ship there, and you're kinda just, like, you're talking to this random person that's like it could be a person, like it could be a being, it could be an entity, like you have no idea. And like that type of stuff is like they nailed it, dude. Like they
That's
nailed it.
cool.
Like that's definitely stuff that you can happen in those the light trails, the color trails, like the way that the world just kind of warps around you, like all of the scenes that we saw where everything was all red and it turns liquid and stuff like that. Like they really nailed it. And I think they're going to give you just a great visual representation of kind of like what that experience is like. So I think for the people that kind of partake in that activity are going to see some very recognizable things, and they'll have like an appreciation for it. And like people that don't, this might be a chance for you to kind of like almost experience a little bit of what it's like without doing it. You know what I
Right,
mean? Yeah.
right.
So I think it's
That's
gonna be
cool.
really cool. And a lot like you said about the visual and the audio, the cool thing about it is this being done by Corey Davis, who did the Spec Ops, The Line, and Robin Finck, which is the touring guitarist for Nine Inch Nails. Very,
Okay.
very cool. He was the
I don't
touring
know who
gu
that is.
You don't know who Nine Inch Nails
No,
is?
I don't.
Bro, you are in trouble.
I'm gonna be in trouble this
You
episode.
yeah, you cut this out. You cut that from the episode.
Okay.
Don't
That's
don't
awesome.
don't cut it from the episode. But, Nine Inch Nails is an industrial band from the '90s.
Gotcha.
If you heard one of their songs, you
I bet I would.
yeah, you would know who they
Yeah.
are. Yeah. Touring guitarist for Nine Inch Nails definitely has some real heavy influence on that 90s industrial that and the Nine Inch Nails is one of the greatest, I think, when it comes to like making you feel immersed in certain mood types.
Okay.
They're very heavy. They go off. They're a great band, but they also have a lot of stuff that's very melodic,
Mhm.
very um no, I don't wanna say unsettling, but it definitely makes you feel a certain way, and I think
Okay.
being able to transfer that kind of energy and that type of, like, sound design and just musical talent into this game that's gonna, like, relate all of those visuals together is just gonna the possibilities for this game to just be something very, very special, I think is so high, and I think it's kind of flying under the radar. I think
Mhm.
when it came to the Summer Games Fest, it's something that shoulda got a lot more attention than it did, so
But people don't know what they were watching when it was going
I'm
on.
not sure if everybody knew what they were looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another thing with it, you know what this game would be really cool for? And maybe it would be maybe too much for this type of gamer.
Who?
VR gamers.
If this was me
Imagine, yeah, this game would be intense in VR.
this game would be pretty crazy in VR. Yeah.
Man, talk about immersing in the psychedelic feel.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool. Now, I'll be dead honest with you guys. If you look at the trailer, and again, it's still early, but I do believe that like there is the potential here for this to just kind of be a walking simulator.
Mhm.
I won't sugarcoat it at all. They say that the gameplay is going to be a lot of puzzle solving, a lot of survival horror stuff. So like you're going to get your jump scares, you're going to get stuff that you need to solve. But again, there's a risk that it could just be a walking simulator. But in terms of walking simulators,
It's pretty high up
I
there.
think this is pretty high up there on the list, and there's still potential for it to have a lot of gameplay mechanics that we don't
Right.
know about yet. So,
Right. Definitely a cool looking game,
yeah,
sounding game.
cool looking
But
game. I think it's a cool looking game. So, definitely
does
check
that have
that
a
one out.
release date?
No release date yet. No, you can wish list it on Steam though, so I would assume it's fairly close.